morning, my dear Prep 1 students. Hope you are all fine today. In today's lesson, we are going to complete comparing and ordering of rational numbers. In the previous lesson, we took comparing rational numbers and how to plot a rational number on the number line. Let's go now and see what's going to be our new lesson. Find two rational numbers between 1 over 5 and 4 over 5. How can I find a rational number between two given rational numbers? Simply, we can go and look for our numerator and our denominator. If we have the same numerator or the same denominator, in this question, I have the same denominator. So, I'm going to look, are there any numbers between 1 and 4? Yes. I have 2 over 5, 3 over 5. So the two rational numbers between the given two rational numbers is 2 over 5 and 3 over 5. Easy, right? Let's go and see the second one. Find two rational numbers between 2 over 11 and 5 over 11. Here, I have the same denominator, so I'm going to look, do I have any numbers between 2 and 5? Yes, I have. What are they? 3 over 11, 4 over 11. So the two rational numbers between 2 over 11 and 5 over 11 are 3 over 11 and 4 over 11. Let's jump now to our third question. I want to find three rational numbers between 4 over 9 and 5 over 6. Let's look for our numerators and our denominators. They are different, so what should I do? Simply, go to the denominator. What is the number that I can find in timetable 9 and also in timetable 6? Simply, it's 54. 9 times 6 is equals to 54 and 6 times 9 is equals to 54. So we are going to multiply the numerator and the denominator of 4 over 9 by 6 to get 24 over 54. And we are going to multiply the numerator and the denominator of 5 over 6 by 9 to get 45 over 54. Here now, I have got the same denominator. What are the numbers included between 24 over 54 and 45 over 54? I will look what are the numbers included between 24 and 45 and put them on the denominator of 54. So I can say that those three rational numbers are 25 over 54, 26 over 54, and 27 over 54. And remember, you can choose any three numbers between them. It's not a must to choose the three numbers that I have chosen. Let's go now to the fourth question. Find three rational numbers between 1 over 3 and 1 over 2. Here I have different denominators and I have the same numerator. What should I do? There is no numbers included between 3 and 2. So simply, I can multiply 1 over 3 by 5, both in the numerator and the denominator, and I will get 5 over 15. And multiply half also by 5, and I will get 5 over 10. Now I have two rational numbers, 5 over 15 and 5 over 10. So here we have the same numerator. So I'm going to ask myself, what are the numbers included between 10 and 15? I can choose any number. So they are 5 over 14, 5 over 13, and 5 over 12. And remember, you can choose any other three numbers. It's not a must to choose the three that I have already chosen. In this question, I multiplied by 5 in the numerator and the denominator in the two fractions in order to have the same numerator, which is 5 in both of them. But the question is, can I solve this question using another method? Yes, and let's go and see it. I want to answer this question now, not using the same numerator, but using the same denominator. So I'm going to ask myself, what is the number that I can find in timetable 3 and also in timetable 2? It's 6, right? So I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator of 1/3 by 2 to get 2 over 6. And the same for half. I'm going to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 3 to get 3 over 6. Now, I have got the same denominator. What about the numerator? It's 2 and 3, and there is no numbers included between 2 and 3. What can I do? I can get this fraction to be with the bigger denominator. How? I can multiply the numerator and the denominator here by 10, and the numerator and the denominator here by 10. So we will have a fraction of 20 over 60 for the first one, and 30 over 60 for the half. Now I have two rational numbers, 20 over 60 and 30 over 60. We have the same denominators, and there are so many numbers included between the 20 and the 30. I can choose any three of them. So simply I can say that the three rational numbers are 21 over 60, 24 over 60, and 25 over 60. And remember, you can always choose any three rational numbers included between 20 over 60 and 30 over 60. The question is now, do I have another way to solve this question? Or can I have another rational numbers equal to 1/3 and a half to be able to find the three rational numbers between them? Let's go and see. We reached that. I have here 2 over 6 for 1/3 and 3 over 6 for half. We can simply multiply by 5 the numerator and the denominator to get a new rational number, which is 10 over 30 for 1/3. And also go and multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5 to get 15 over 30. Now I have got two completely different rational numbers, which are 10 over 30 and 15 over 30, but still they are equal to 1/3 and half. How can I find the rational numbers between them? Simply go and look for the denominator. It is the same. What are the numbers included between 10 and 15? We can say that the three rational numbers are 11 over 30, 12 over 30, or 13 over 30. And again, remember that you can choose any three rational numbers included between those two rational numbers. I would like you now please to open your school book, page 8, write today's date beside question number 4 and write classwork. Write the missing rational number. He wants me to write the missing rational number between each two given rational numbers. So in example number A, I have 2 over 5 and 3 over 5. In those two rational numbers, I have the same denominator, which is 5. But still, there are no numbers included between 2 and 3. So what should I do is making this rational number with the bigger denominator. How? By multiplying the numerator and the denominator of both fractions by the same number. So for example, I'm going to multiply here by 2. 2 over 5 is going to be equal to 4 over 10. What about 3 over 5? Also, I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, which is 2. So I'm going to have 6 over 10. Here I have the same denominator, and then my numerator is 4 and 6. Are there any numbers included between 4 and 6? Yes, it's 5 over 10. Let's go now for number B. Negative 2 over 3 and negative 1/3. What is the rational number included between those two numbers? Simply, I have the same denominator, but there are no numbers included between negative 2 and negative 1. What should I do is making my denominator bigger. How? By multiplying both the numerator and the denominator of the two fractions by the same number. Here in this example, let's multiply by 5. So negative 2 over 3, when I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5, I will have negative 10 over 15. What about negative 1 over 3? If I multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 5, I will have negative 5 over 15. Here I have the same denominator, and there are numbers included between negative 10 and negative 5. I can choose any number. I'm going to choose here negative 6 over 15, but it's your choice to choose any other number if you need, but it must be included between negative 10 and negative 5. Let's go now for number C. 1 over 8 and 1 over 4. What is the rational number included between those two rational numbers? Look at your numerator and your denominator. Here my denominator is different, but my numerator, they are both equal. So I am going to look for the numbers between 8 and 4. What are the numbers between 8 and 4? It's 1 over 7, 1 over 6, and 1 over 5. You can choose any one of those three. So I will choose here 1 over 6. Let's go now for number D. Number D, negative 2 over 7 and negative 3 over 14. As you can see, I have different numerators and different denominators. So let's work now for the denominator. Can 7 be 14? Yes, if I multiply the numerator and the denominator of this fraction by 2. So negative 2 over 7, if I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2, I will have negative 4 over 14. Now I have got two equal denominators. But the question is there any numbers included between negative 4 and negative 3? Of course not. So what should I do? Let this denominator go bigger. How can I let it go bigger? Just by multiplying the two rational numbers, the numerator and the denominator, by the same number. So I'm going to multiply by 2. Negative 4 times 2 is equals to negative 8. 14 times 2 is equals to 28. So negative 8 over 28. And the same goes for negative 3 over 14. Multiplying the numerator and the denominator, both of them, by 2, I will have negative 6 over 28. Now again, I have the same denominator. And I have here, between negative 8 and negative 6, there is one number which is negative 7 over 28. I would like you please now to pause the video and go and copy the answer of this question in your school book, and then come back to complete. Let's go now to the school book, page 8, question number 6a. Identify and write 4 rational numbers between 3 over 2 and 3 over 4, such that one of them is an integer and the other is a rational number. So let's go now and see. I have 3 over 2 and 3 over 4. Let's work now to have those two rational numbers having the same denominator. Remember, you can make them having the same numerator or denominator in order to find the rational numbers between them. In this question, I'm going to solve it using the same denominator. So I'm going to multiply the first rational number 3 over 2, both the numerator and the denominator, by 4. I will have another rational number which is 12 over 8. What about 3 over 4? Still, I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by 2 to have 6 over 8. Now I have my denominators are the same, and there are numbers included between 12 and 6. So the 4 rational numbers including between those numbers are 7 over 8, 8 over 8, 9 over 8, and 10 over 8. But remember that he wants one of them to be an integer. Which one of them should be an integer? It's 8 over 8 because 8 over 8 is equals to 1 and 1 is an integer number. Remember, you can choose any 4 rational numbers between them, but don't forget that 8 over 8 must be included because he wants one of them to be an integer. I would like you now to pause, go and copy the answer of this question, and then come back to complete. Let's go now to question number 6b. Identify and write 4 rational numbers between negative 4 over 9 and negative 5 over 6. Negative 4 over 9 and negative 5 over 6, I don't have the same numerator or the same denominator. So what should I do? I'm going to work to have the denominator the same. If I multiply the rational number negative 4 over 9, both the numerator and the denominator, by 2, I will have a rational number negative 8 over 18. And for the second rational number, if I multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, I will have negative 15 over 18. I have now the same denominators, and I have numbers included between negative 8 and negative 15. My two rational numbers are negative 8 over 18 and negative 15 over 18. What are the four rational numbers included between them? We can say that they are negative 9 over 18, negative 10 over 18, negative 11 over 18, and negative 12 over 18. And don't forget that you can always write other four rational numbers included between them. You can take, for example, negative 10 over 18, negative 11 over 18, negative 12 over 18, and negative 13 over 18. You can choose any number between negative 8 and negative 15. Is it easy, right? I would like you now please to pause your video and go and copy the answer of this question and then come back to complete. I would like to have your attention in this question, please. We are answering question number 5 on schoolbook page 8. Write the rational number that equals 3 over 5 and the sum of its terms 24. So I want to have this rational number 3 over 5 equal to another rational number, and the sum of the numerator and the denominator is equals to 24. How can I find a rational number which is equal to a given rational number? Simply by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by the same number, or dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So here I am going to multiply 3 over 5 by a number that I don't know. So it's going to be 3x over 5x. Why x? Because I don't know what is the number I'm going to multiply here in the numerator and the denominator to have an equal fraction. He told me that the sum of its terms is 24, so 3x, which is the numerator, plus 5x, which is the denominator, is equals to 24. I am going to solve it to the normal equation. 3x plus 5x is equals to 8x. And now x is equals to 24. How can I find x? Simply by dividing 24 divided by 8. So x is equal to 3. Now, I said that 3 times x and 5 times x. So let's take away x and put instead of it 3. 9 plus 15 is equals to 24. So the rational number he's looking for is 9 over 15. Again, since I don't know what is the number I am going to multiply in the numerator and the denominator to get an equal rational number, I am going to call this number x. And he told me that the sum of these two terms is 24, so the numerator plus the denominator is equals to 24. And then I am going to solve it to the normal equation to find the value of x. Substitute x in 3 times x and 5 times x to get the new fraction which he's looking for, which is 9 over 15. We have finished today's lesson. It's easy, it just needs a lot of practice. I would like to thank you all, Prep 1, and have a nice day.